Most people think saving $10,000 on a $40,000 salary is impossible. I thought so too. I remember sitting at my kitchen table at 2 a.m., staring at my bank account showing $247, feeling like I was drowning. Rent was due in 5 days, my credit card was maxed out, and I had just turned 26. I was making what seemed like decent money, but somehow I was always broke. Fast forward 18 months, and I had $10,000 sitting in my savings account. No inheritance, no lottery win, just a regular salary and a system that completely changed my life. Welcome to Money Sprint. My name is Alex, and for the longest time, I was the poster child for living paycheck to paycheck. I had a decent job, no major debt besides my car, and yet I couldn't seem to save anything meaningful. Sound familiar? Here's what most financial gurus won't tell you. Saving money on a modest income isn't about making massive sacrifices or living on rice and beans. It's about understanding exactly where your money goes and making strategic decisions that compound over time. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact system I used to save $10,000 in 18 months while earning $40,000 a year. We're talking specific budgeting methods, the psychological tricks I used to stay motivated, the unexpected challenges that almost derailed everything, and the side hustles that actually worked without burning me out. But more importantly, I'm going to share the mindset shifts that made this transformation stick. This isn't a get-rich-quick story. This is about building financial security one decision at a time, and I promise you, if I could do this, anyone can. Let me paint you a picture of where I started. I was working as a junior marketing coordinator at a small firm. My gross salary was $40,000, which sounds decent until you break it down. After taxes, insurance, and my $401,000 contribution, which honestly I was only doing because my company matched 3%, my take-home pay was roughly $2,600 per month. That's $3,100 a year that actually hit my bank account. My rent for a one-bedroom apartment in a decent but not fancy neighborhood was $950 a month. Car payment, $280, insurance, phone bill, utilities, groceries, gas. The list went on. I wasn't living extravagantly. I didn't have designer clothes or a luxury car. I went out with friends maybe twice a month. I streamed Netflix and Spotify like everyone else. But somehow, by the end of each month, there was nothing left. Actually, that's not quite true. There was usually negative space. I'd overdraft once or twice a year, and I'd put those emergencies on my credit card. I had about $3,200 on that credit card, carrying a balance month to month, paying the minimum because that's all I could afford. The interest alone was eating up almost $50 every month. I told myself I was doing fine. I had a job, I paid my bills mostly on time. I wasn't in serious debt. But deep down, I was terrified. Terrified of my car breaking down. Terrified of getting sick. Terrified of staying stuck in this cycle forever. The worst part wasn't the lack of money, it was the lack of control. I felt like I was on autopilot, spending without thinking and hoping it would all work out. Spoiler alert, hope is not a financial strategy. The wake-up call came on a random Tuesday in March. Nothing dramatic, no rock-bottom moment you see in movies. Just an ordinary day that forced me to confront reality. My check engine light came on. Not a big deal, right? Except when I took it to the mechanic, they told me I needed $800 worth of repairs. Not optional, not something I could delay. My car was literally unsafe to drive. I didn't have $800, I didn't have $400. I barely had $200 in checking after paying rent. I sat in that mechanic's waiting room, and for the first time in my adult life, I felt genuinely scared. Not anxious, not worried, scared. Because I realized that one unexpected expense, something completely normal and predictable like car maintenance, could completely derail my life. I put it on my credit card. That balance jumped to over $4,000. The minimum payment increased. I drove home that day feeling sick to my stomach, and that night I did something I'd been avoiding for years. I actually looked at my finances, all of them. I pulled up my bank statements for the past 6 months. I exported my credit card transactions. I grabbed a notebook and started writing everything down. What I discovered shocked me. I was spending $340 a month on food, but somehow still going out to eat 12 to 15 times a month. I had 3 subscription services I'd forgotten about, totaling $47 monthly. I was spending almost $200 a month on random Amazon purchases, stuff I barely remembered buying. It wasn't that I was irresponsible with big purchases. I was bleeding money through 1,000 tiny cuts. That night, something shifted. I made a decision. I was going to save $10,000. I didn't know how long it would take. I didn't know if it was even possible. But I knew that if I didn't change something fundamentally, I'd be sitting in another mechanic's waiting room at 40, 50, 60, having the exact same panic attack. The next morning, I started building my system. Not a diet, not a temporary fix, but a sustainable system. Here's exactly what I did step by step. Step 1, the truth budget. I spent an entire weekend creating what I called my truth budget. Not what I thought I spent, not what I should spend, but what I actually spent. I categorized every transaction from the past 3 months. Rent, car, insurance. Those were fixed. But everything else? I had to see it in black and white. My actual spending looked like this. Fixed expenses were $1,480. That included rent, car payment, insurance, phone, and utilities. Groceries were running me about $280. Gas was $120. Then came the painful part. Eating out, $180. Entertainment and random shopping, $220. Subscriptions, $47. Debt payments, $75 minimum on the credit card. When I added it all up, I was spending roughly $2,400 per month, leaving me with maybe $200 that just seemed to evaporate. Some months I'd spend more and dip into overdraft. The problem was crystal clear. I had no intentionality. Money came in, money went out, and I was just along for the ride. Step 2, the 50-30-20 framework, modified. I'd heard about the 50-30-20 rule before. 50% needs, 30% wants, and 20% savings. But here's the thing, on $2,600 take-home, 20% is $520 a month. There was no way I could save that immediately without making massive cuts. So I modified it. I started with 50-40-10. 50% to needs, 40% to wants, and flexible spending, 10% to savings. That meant $260 a month into savings automatically. It didn't feel like enough, but it was realistic. I could actually do it without feeling like I was depriving myself of everything. My needs budget was $100 to $300. That covered rent, car, insurance, phone, utilities, and a baseline grocery budget of $200. Everything else, including extra grocery spending, eating out, entertainment, shopping, gas beyond essentials, came out of that 40%, $40, and $260 went straight to savings the day my paycheck hit. Step 3, automate everything. This was the game changer. I set up my checking account so that the moment my paycheck is deposited, $260 automatically transfers to a separate high-yield savings account at a different bank. Not the same bank, different bank. This was crucial. It created friction. If I wanted to access that money, I'd have to transfer it back, which took 2 business days. That delay saved me countless times from impulse spending. I also automated all my fixed bills. Rent, car payment, insurance, everything. They all came out within the first 5 days of the month. What was left was what I had to work with. No more guessing, no more mental math. The money that was in my checking account was actually available to spend. Step 4, the weekly allowance method. Here's where it got interesting. With $1,040 for flexible spending per month, I broke it down weekly. That's roughly $260 per week for everything. Groceries beyond basics, eating out, entertainment, gas, and anything variable. Every Monday, I'd mentally reset. I had $260 to work with for the next 7 days. I used a simple notes app on my phone and tracked every dollar. Coffee, $4.50. Lunch out, $12. Groceries, $35. I wasn't restricting myself from anything specific. I was just aware. Awareness was everything. Some weeks I'd spend $180 and have $80 rollover. Other weeks, I'd need that buffer. Step 5, the 3-day rule. For any purchase over $30 that wasn't a necessity, I implemented a 3-day waiting period. I'd add it to a wish list or leave it in my online cart. 3 days later, if I still wanted it and could afford it within my weekly allowance, I'd buy it. You know what happened? About 70% of those purchases never happened. The impulse faded. I'd realize I didn't actually need or want it that badly. Step 6. Aggressive debt payoff. Remember that $4,000 credit card balance? It was a psychological weight. Every month, beyond my $260 savings deposit, any extra money, anything left over from my weekly allowance, went straight to that credit card. Some months it was $50. Some months it was $150. I wasn't following any fancy debt snowball method. I just attacked it with whatever surplus I had. After 8 months, I paid off that credit card completely. And here's what happened next. That minimum payment of $75, it didn't become spending money. It got redirected to savings. So now I was saving $335 per month automatically. The lifestyle shifts. But saving isn't just about spreadsheets and transfers. It's about changing how you think and live. Here are the lifestyle shifts that made the biggest difference. Meal planning became non-negotiable. I started spending Sunday afternoons planning my meals for the week. I'd cook 2 or 3 big meals and portion them out. Suddenly, my grocery bill dropped from $280 to $200, and I stopped eating out for lunch every day. I'm not going to lie and say I loved cooking at first. I didn't. But I loved seeing my bank account grow more. I'd still go out with friends, but I became strategic. Instead of dinner and drinks, I'd suggest coffee or lunch, which was half the price. Instead of saying yes to every happy hour, I'd pick one per week that I really wanted to attend. Entertainment got creative. I canceled 2 of my 3 subscriptions, kept Netflix, cut Hulu, and that random app subscription I forgot about. I started using the library again. Sounds old school, but they had movies, books, and even video games I could borrow for free. I discovered free community events, hiking trails, and parks. My friend group actually grew closer because instead of defaulting to expensive bars, we'd host game nights at someone's apartment, potluck style. Everyone brought something, and we'd hang out for hours without spending more than $5 or $10. Transportation optimization. I started combining errands. Instead of making 3 separate trips during the week, I'd plan one efficient route on Saturday morning. I saved probably $20 a month on gas just from this. I also started carpooling to work with a coworker twice a week. Small change, but it added up. The mindset shift, abundance, not deprivation. This was the most important change. I stopped thinking about saving as giving things up. I started thinking about it as giving things to my future self. Every dollar saved was freedom. Freedom from that 2 a.m. panic. Freedom to handle emergencies. Freedom to eventually take a vacation, change jobs, or pursue opportunities without money being the barrier. I'd visualize that savings account number growing. I made it my phone wallpaper for a while. Sounds cheesy, but it worked. When I was tempted to buy something impulsively, I'd see that number and ask myself, does this bring me more joy than watching that number go up? Usually the answer was no. Challenges and setbacks. Now, let me be real with you. This wasn't a smooth, linear journey. There were setbacks, big ones. Month 4, the birthday month. 3 friends had birthdays in the same month. Dinners, gifts, and 1 bachelor party weekend trip. I blew my budget by $200. I felt like a failure. I considered stopping the whole thing, but instead of giving up, I adjusted. The next 2 months, I scaled back even more to compensate. I communicated with friends honestly. Hey, I'm on a tight budget right now. Can we do something low-key for celebrations? Real friends understood. Month 7, medical emergency. I got food poisoning bad enough to need urgent care. After insurance, I owed $150. It came out of my emergency fund, which I didn't really have yet. I had to pause my savings deposit that month to cover it. It felt like sliding backward, but I reminded myself that this was exactly why I was saving. Next month, I got back on track. Month 10, the holiday trap. December nearly destroyed my progress. Gifts, travel to see family, holiday parties. I spent $400 more than I planned, but here's what was different. I didn't use a credit card. I used my savings buffer strategically and adjusted my January and February budgets to rebuild. Old me would have put it on credit and spent months paying it off with interest. I handled it without creating debt. The emotional roller coaster. Some months I felt like a financial genius. Other months I felt deprived and frustrated watching friends go on trips or buy things without thinking. I had to keep reminding myself that I didn't know their financial situations. They might be drowning in debt. They might make more money. Their journey wasn't mine. The hardest part was staying motivated when progress felt slow. Saving $260 a month meant that after 3 months, I only had $780. It felt like nothing, but I kept going. Consistency beats intensity every single time. Results in reflection. After 18 months, I had $10,247 in my savings account. Let me break down how I got there. Months 1 to 8, saved $260 per month, wonky $2,080, plus random extras totaling about $380, $2,460. Used $150 for a medical emergency. Net, $2,310. Month 9, paid off credit card. Redirected that $75 minimum payment to savings, now saving $335 per month. Months 9 to 12, saved $335 per month. $1,340 plus extras, $1,580. Spent $200 over budget on holidays. Net, approximately $1,380. After 12 months total, roughly $3,690 saved. Months 13 to 18, continued $335 per month. Your son, $2,010. Plus, I got a small $600 tax refund that went straight to savings. Plus an extra $200 from selling stuff I didn't need on Facebook Marketplace. Random side gig income, more on that in a second, added another $900. Extras from budget surplus, approximately $800. Total after 18 months, $10,247. The breakdown wasn't perfect or linear, but it was real. And that number sitting in my account changed everything. What changed? Emotionally, I stopped waking up with that knot in my stomach. I stopped avoiding looking at my bank account. I felt proud of myself for the first time in years. I had proof that I could set a goal and achieve it. Mentally, I became a different person. I started thinking long-term. I started evaluating every financial decision through the lens of, does this align with my goals? I became more confident at work because I wasn't desperate. I wasn't trapped. Financially, I had options. When my company went through layoffs, I wasn't panicked because I had a cushion. When my brother needed help with an emergency, I could actually support my family. When a career opportunity came up that required relocation, I could consider it seriously because I had money. The side hustle that actually worked, I mentioned side income. Here's the truth. I tried 4 different side hustles. 3 failed, but 1 worked. I started doing freelance social media consulting for small local businesses, just 5 hours a week. I leveraged my marketing day job skills. It brought in an extra $300, $500 per month. Not life-changing, but it accelerated my savings goal by months. The key was finding something that didn't burn me out, that used skills I already had, and that fit into my life naturally. Call to action and final takeaway. Here's what I want you to understand. Saving $10,000 on $40,000 a year isn't about deprivation. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about making conscious decisions instead of defaulting to old patterns. If you're sitting where I was 18 months ago, feeling stuck, feeling like you'll never get ahead, I need you to hear this. You can do this. You don't need to earn more first. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You just need to start with one decision. 1 automated transfer, 1 week of tracking your spending. Start with $50 a month if that's all you can do. Start with $10. The amount doesn't matter at first, the habit does. Build the system, trust the process, and give yourself grace when you mess up. Because you will mess up. I did, multiple times. But 18 months from now, you could be sitting where I am, looking at a savings account that represents freedom, security, and proof that you're capable of more than you thought. Your future self will thank you for starting today. If this story helped you, if something resonated, If you're ready to take control of your finances, I'd love for you to subscribe to Money Sprint. We share real stories, practical strategies, and honest conversations about building wealth on any income. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next story. And here's my challenge for you. Pick one thing from this video, just one. Maybe it's automating your savings. Maybe it's tracking your spending for 1 week. Maybe it's implementing the 3-day rule for purchases. Pick one thing and do it today, not tomorrow. Today, your financial transformation starts with a single decision. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.